Hey everyone, I had come to go to my group again this week like I usually try to do, but they canceled it and they didn't bother telling anybody. So I drove kind of far just to be like really disappointed. If I'd known, I mean, there's things going on. There's so much I need to get done around. I cannot see around these bushes. It's a blind freaking corner. It's dangerous here. Anyway, so I had stuff that I could have been getting done. So I'm really frustrated with them. Plus my toddler Sadie's at home crying and having a bad day, and I left her just to find out that it was a waste of my time. Anyway, life happens. I guess you just try to roll with it. Oh my gosh, it's bright out here, so I'm putting my sunglasses on. Sorry you don't get to see my eyes. Okay, so anyway, after I got that out, I talked about idea of homeschooling last week. Homeschooling a couple of my kids. One of them's got some special needs, and the other one has, I guess, her own type of special needs. Isn't that cool? And I definitely want to keep her in homeschool. But my son, I'm not so sure about. I'd love to hear what people's opinions are about having a child with special needs go. Now, I know some people think that if the parent hasn't been like specially trained and equipped for handling children with special needs, then they have no business teaching their own kid. Oh, I'm sorry that the public education system and the government has convinced you that parents can't raise their own children and teach and guide and direct them. How did parents do it all throughout time before now? They obviously managed it. I believe with the help of God and with all the tools that we're given, that it's possible. And people who are going to discourage parents from doing what they feel is right are in the wrong. You shouldn't be telling a parent that they should or shouldn't be doing something. It's not right to be like that. It's not your place. And it's very negative. It's judgmental. It's critical. It's not fair. I mean, you can offer your opinion, which I appreciate hearing, but deciding that your opinion is the absolute and ultimate truth, and discrediting the parents' right to choose and discrediting the parents' own knowledge and capability is downright rude and inappropriate. That's like telling a parent, well, you should be raising your kid in that religion because I don't agree with it. It's like, so what? That's not your business. I believe if parents want to homeschool their kids, that is not our business. We shouldn't be butting in and telling people how they should be teaching their kids. We just shouldn't be, because most homeschoolers come out totally fine. While just, I guess most or half public schoolers, I'm not sure what the number is, but I know that it seems like public school kids, a lot of them struggle worse than homeschool kids do. And I'm talking about in life, So it doesn't even matter. Like, it all depends on how they parent and if they come from a loving, stable home. Not the form of education that they use, and not whether they vax or not vax their kids, or whether all that stuff is that's just beside the point. Children deserve to be loved and cherished and respected and raised by parents who love them, who care about them, or if it's not their parents, their grandparents or whoever. My gosh, give parents a break. So anyway, I was homeschooled, and I was an awkward child, and I was really shy and quiet usually, and I wanted to be outgoing and have friends. I wanted to be accepted and respected and trusted and welcomed, but I unfortunately was not usually treated that way, even by a lot of adults, in and out of my church. But most of them were in my church, just because most people around me were in my church, members of the same church. And our church doesn't teach to be that way. And I mean, the members aren't perfect. There's a lot of people that are stupid, no matter what religion they belong to, or immature or whatever. But anyway, there are a lot of people that had a lot of opinions about homeschool when I was growing up. And I learned to just not tell anybody that I was homeschooled. Because as soon as I tell people I was homeschooled, I was ostracized automatically. And my brothers, if any of my brothers were homeschooled, boys would just bully them, beat on them, pick on them, tease them. For me, the girls were vicious, and I wasn't welcome in girl groups. I wasn't welcome in any group. I wasn't anybody's friend, and unless they were another homeschooler, or they were the oddball that went to public school that no one accepted. I was friends with those people, and not that I had a problem with that. I had a problem with how other people treated me. That I was automatically not welcome because I was different. Like, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to go to a different school than me. Nowadays, there are so many schools out there, it doesn't even matter. Most kids don't even freaking care, which is awesome. It's people that are my age and older that tend to be a little weird about it still, just because this, just the stigma of it, how it used to be treated and looked at. That has changed, but there's still a lot of people at reservations, especially people that are older. They automatically jump into this judgment mode, and they look down their noses at you. Now, people that are younger than me, that are raising kids, they don't seem to care. They're just like, what's the big deal? So, they're getting that homeschool actually is quite effective. They've proven that, and a lot of people have seen that, and they've realized that it can be a highly successful thing. And usually, and most of the time, it really is. For my family, there's 7 of us kids, and we're all very different. And we've all had different levels of success. All of us have been successful in some field or area or another. And, all of us have had lots of friends. We've, a lot of people, when they've heard or learned that we were homeschooled, they're like, really? Like, it's hard for them to believe. Nowadays, not as much. But I know that, like, say 20 years ago and 15 years ago, if we tell anybody, oh yeah, I was homeschooled, they'd be shocked. Like, you don't act like a homeschool kid. I'm like, what's a homeschool kid supposed to act like? Like, I don't fit the mold? What am I supposed to do to look like a homeschool kid? And so, I know it confused a lot of people, but it also helped people realize that you can be somewhat socially acceptable and be a homeschool kid, or even completely socially acceptable and be a homeschooled kid. Like, you don't have to act a certain way to be from a certain place. Just because someone acts stuck up, snobby, and rich doesn't mean they are. They could be very poor, or they could just be, middle class. Someone could be raised on a silver spoon and be from a minority group, from, the Bronx or somewhere. I don't know. Just because they come from a certain walk of life does not guarantee that they're going to be that certain way that fits that specific mold. You can't just automatically judge that that's how it's going to be. I got plenty of socialization growing up. I had friends from all walks of life. I got along with adults and kids who were younger than me. I was more responsible and respectful than a lot of my peers, I did make friends with some people that were very respectful by nature anyway, and that's just their nature. But I also were friends with a lot of kids that I was like, why are they talking to adults like that? Now, my kids that have been raised in public school, they do not have the same level of respect that me and my siblings had with authority. And they have the public school mentality, basically. And it's unfortunate, and it breaks my heart that it's like that. Their grammar's not the best. Like most of my friends that went to public school, their grammar is crap, and that's just the reality of it. There are a lot of people that go to public school that have exceptional grammar. Just like I said, just because you're from public school doesn't mean you're stupid, and just because you're homeschooled doesn't mean you're socially retarded. You can find any kind of person from any kind of background or any kind of anything, so you can't just assume that everybody from that certain background or lifestyle is a specific way, that they're always going to be that way. So anyway, what I'm saying is that homeschool can be, and usually is, an amazing blessing in the lives of those who choose to do it. And those who aren't willing to give it a shot or give it a chance are short selling themselves and those around them who are choosing to homeschool. Don't judge. Instead, be a support, encourage. And those who choose to stop homeschooling and send their kids back to school, don't judge them either. That's not fair. Everybody has their reasons, and it's between them, the children, their spouse or whoever, and God. It's not our freaking business. The style they choose, if they do a public school at home, or if they do make their own curriculum, or if they purchase curriculum online, or if they send them to a charter school or private school, or if they do part home, God, come on. There's so many options out there. I don't see the point in, judging somebody or criticizing somebody at all for those choices that they make and how they choose to raise their kids and educate them. It just seems pointless to me to be that way. It's a waste of energy, a waste of time, and it just causes ill feelings that don't need to be there. Anyway, if you're thinking of homeschooling your kids, if it feels right to you, know it's going to be really hard at the start. It just is. That's a huge adjustment. Don't expect it to run the way public school is ran, because it's not supposed to. If you're running the way public school runs, then you're, in my opinion, probably doing it wrong. Don't expect the same results. Every child grows at different rates. And every child has their own special gifts and talents that they're going to be exceptional at, and some that they struggle with. Get them the help that they need in the areas they need it, and where they're really good at it, let them soar. Don't hold them back. If they're super good at science, gosh, let them go with it. The public school holds kids back. And the ones that aren't ready to move on, they flunk them, or they push them, and so they never learn it. It's just, it's sad. We need to learn to work with our kids and their individual needs. So that's what I'm trying to do for my kids. And I am trying to figure out how to help my son with the special needs and everything, because I don't feel equipped personally to handle a few of his issues and stuff. But I believe that with the right guidance and the right tools and things that I can. I just have to be directed in where to go and who to go to and things like that. And my daughter, I'm sure she's going to be just fine. I was. My siblings all were, and all my homeschool friends were. I'm sure that she'll turn out just fine. She's really intelligent. She's bright. When she really cares about something, she puts herself into it. She does a good job. So anyway, that's my spiel about it. And yeah, I guess if you have something to say about it, go ahead, say it, whatever. Questions or anything. If you have questions about what it was like for me, I will be happy to get into that. I may get into it more later in another video, but I want to know if that's something you want to hear about. If you want to hear more about what it was like for me growing up being homeschooled, and going to public school, part-time, all that kind of stuff, just let me know. And if you have suggestions on what to do for my kids, let me know that too. Anyway, go ahead and subscribe. and share the videos if you think it would help anybody, or if you think somebody can help me, and like my video to let me know if this is something you like to talk about. So talk to you later. Bye.